the Supreme speaking with the angel Brahma to his Brahmin children during 1972. तो ये मुरली चली है 21 जनवरी 72. इसका टाइटल है The Easy Method to Become a Constant Yogi. Constant Yogi, the one who has a constant connection or remembrance of the Supreme Father and the Angelic Father Brahma Baba. So Baba says, just as you switch something on and turn it off in 1 second, in the same way, are you able to take the support of the body in 1 second and become bodiless and stay beyond the body in 1 second? Baba says you have to practice coming into the body in one moment and going beyond the body in the next moment. This is called the Karma Teeth stage. Baba says you will experience this as though it is in your hands to adopt whatever type of costume you wish, whenever you wish. Baba says when there is a need for it, you adopt the costume, and when there is no need, you become separate from the body. You should have such an experience through the costume of this body. Baba says while performing actions, the experience should be such that as though you have adopted a costume and are doing your work. Baba says, as soon as you finish your work, you then become detached from the costume. Through developing this practice, you have to experience the detachment of the soul from the body, even while walking and moving around. Baba says, who is able to practice this? Only those, Baba says, who are completely detached from the things of the body and the relations of the body, the physical world, and all the things connected with the body. Baba says, only when there isn't the slightest attachment can you be detached. If you do not have lightness even in your subtle thoughts, if you cannot be detached, then you will not be able to experience that detachment. So Baba says, so the Maharathis now have to practice this. You should have the practice of complete detachment. Baba says, when you souls stay in this stage, other souls will also have the experience of detachment. They will also realize this, just as at the time of sitting in yoga, many souls have this experience. Baba says they feel this one who is conducting meditation is in a stage of detachment. In the same way, while walking and moving around, they will have visions of the angelic stage. Baba says, while sitting here, all souls who are to come close in your golden aged family will have visions of both your angelic form and your future royal form at the same time. Baba says, just as in the beginning you had visions of both the perfect form of Brahma and Sri Krishna at the same time, in the same way, others will have visions of your double form. आगे बाबा कहते हैं, मीठे बाबा प्यारे बाबा आगे कहते हैं, as you develop the stage of detachment number wise, they will also have double visions of your form. When you fully develop this practice, Baba says, you will begin to receive news from everywhere. Just as in the beginning, all the souls who were to come close had visions, in the same way, they will also have visions now. While sitting here, Baba says, your subtle form will do service in an unlimited way. This is the service that now remains to be done. All of you saw the example in the Sakar form, corporeal, physical Brahma Baba. Baba says everything is to happen number-wise according to the drama. The more you stabilize yourself in the angelic form, Baba says, the more service your angelic form will do. How long does it take for the soul to go around the whole world? Through the vehicle of the mind, Baba says the soul takes less than a second to move around the entire globe through the power of your pure thoughts. So now Baba says your subtle form will also do service. However, only those who are in this stage of detachment and stabilized in their angelic stage will do this. Baba says you had visions in the beginning. You used to have the visions of both the perfect stage and the effort making stage through the angelic form. Just as you used to have separate visions of Sakar Brahma and angelic Brahma, in the same way, many children will have visions of you. Baba says, when the upheaval takes place, you will not be able to do any service through the physical body. The influence will also spread through this service, seva. Baba says, just as in the beginning, the influence spread through visions, the visible and the invisible created the influence. In the same way, this service has to take place. Do you yourself have visions of your own perfect form? Baba says now they have started to call out to the Shaktis. They don't call out as much to God now. Baba says the calling out to the Shaktis has now begun with great speed. So you have to practice this every now and again. When you have developed this habit, you will feel a lot of happiness, Baba says. In 1 second, the soul will become detached from the body and you will develop this habit. Baba says this is the habit you have to make now. At the present, there are 3 stages of making effort. Baba says each of you is moving along according to your own capacity. What are those 3 stages? One is speaking, the second is churning, and the third is being absorbed. Churning, thinking over these points being shared by Bab Dada. So one is speaking about those points, the second is thinking, and then churning, Baba says, and the third is being absorbed. The majority are in the stage of speaking. Baba says, because of a lack of churning and being absorbed, the soul lacks willpower. By just speaking about something, the power of extroversion is visible, and Baba says this does not create an impact. Baba says, with the angelic state of mind, that's the state of mind that creates an impact. Angelic stage of mind, or bodiless, incorporeal. You do churn, but Baba says churning whilst being introverted is lacking. You may be churning the points, but by churning each point, Baba says you should be able to extract the butter. That is the essence of power through which power increases. You may have planned everything, but there isn't the decoration of all the powers that there should be. Powers, power to tolerate, power to accommodate, power to decide, power to discern, power to judge, power to withdraw, power to cooperate, power to pack up, power to tolerate. There are many powers, power of thoughts. So Baba says, no matter how invaluable something may be, if you do not place it in a suitable place, you cannot recognize the value of that thing. Baba says, in the same way, you may be churning knowledge, but you don't fill yourself with power through churning as much as you should. This is why, although you make a lot of effort, the result is very minute. Baba says you have very good zeal and enthusiasm in your mind when planning, but when you see the practical results, there is no longer imperishable zeal and enthusiasm in the mind. You do not have the constant stage of force that you should have. Baba says you are still ignorant of the experience of how to fill the self with power through churning these godly thoughts, churning the godly wisdom. तो बाबा कहते हैं this is why you are not able to experience introversion and the attainment of happiness. As long as you do not have the feeling of all attainments of happiness, anything perishable will definitely attract you towards itself. Baba says, so at the present time, through the power of churning, you need to fill the soul with all the powers. Baba says, through the power of churning. Like Baba says, you churn on body conscious thoughts, negative thoughts, thoughts of this corporeal world. Now Baba says, at the confluence age, Sangam Yug, Bab Dada, spiritual Bab Dada they have come, they're combined, and they are giving the treasure of pure thoughts, of godly thoughts. So Baba says, take these thoughts and churn, think over these thoughts that will create power in the soul. So Baba says, with power through churning. This is why you are not able to experience introversion and the attainment of happiness. Introversion only means focused on the self, seeing the self. First, focus on the self, and then moving out in the world to perform karma. But the first focus is on the self. That's introversion. Baba says, or introversion is a soul conscious stage. You're doing bodily work, but in a soul conscious, God conscious stage. That is introversion. So Baba says, as long as you do not have the feeling of all attainments of happiness, anything perishable will definitely attract you towards itself. Baba says, so at the present time, through the power of churning, you need to fill the soul with all the powers. Then you will be able to maintain the stage of being absorbed and your obstacles will be removed. The stage of being absorbed in what? In knowledge, in God's love, in godly attainments, absorbed. So Baba says, so at present time, before the service through Shivratri, you must have the force to fill the self with power. You may be holding programs for yoga, not physical yoga, spiritual yoga, mental link with the Supreme Almighty Authority, that's yoga. Here, Raja Yoga. So Baba says, you may be holding programs for yoga, but now you need to give classes whereby you can give souls the experience of power through yoga. God's power, experience of God's power, experience of godly silence, sweet silence, or experience of God's love, God's company. As is the company, so will be the color. So Baba says, make me your companion. मुझे अपना साथी बना लो बच्चे. On the basis of your practical power, you have to give power to others. Baba says, do not just think of plans for external service, but you need to pay full attention in all directions. Baba says those who are instruments should think about in which aspect their garden is weak. Garden, spiritual garden, not physical garden, spiritual garden, souls, children of Baba. So Baba says the instrument souls should think about in which aspect their garden is weak. You have to have a very strict vision on your garden in every way. You must make special time and finish those weaknesses. So Baba says, become a spiritual gardener and see your inner state of mind and as well as help others to elevate their inner state of being or inner state of mind and stay connected with God. And Baba says, help others to link their connection with God too, with the Supreme Almighty Authority. Because of the lack of the influence of the Shaktis, you become slack in every aspect while walking and moving along. Baba says, this is why your preparation for destruction are sometimes very forceful and sometimes they become slack. Destruction of the old vicious sanskars or old vicious nature. Destruction of vices through the power of God's remembrance. तो बाबा कहते हैं विनाश किसका करना है? विकारों का या अपने आसुरी स्वभाव का. When you do not have any force for establishment, how will you be able to fill destruction with force? In the beginning, you had so much intoxication, nasha. Baba says you had a very strict vision on your own self. So focus, self-focus, self-focus. Baba says you didn't think much of the obstacles or of Maya. Obstacles or of Maya, anything that breaks our link with the Supreme Father and the Angelic Father is Maya. So Baba says, remove that Maya and obstacle through the power of God's love. So Baba, and wisdom, not just love. The foundation of this life is not just God's love, it is also godly wisdom. Wisdom plus love is equal to success. Wisdom plus love, not just love. Love minus wisdom is weakness, but wisdom plus love is power. So Baba says, समझदारी और स्नेह, सिर्फ स्नेह नहीं, समझदार भी. तो बाबा कहते हैं you had such strong intoxication in the beginning when Brahma Baba was there in the corporeal form, and the Supreme Father Shiv Baba established this university through his corporeal medium Brahma Baba. So in the beginning, Baba said, all the children who came had such great intoxication because Brahma Baba trained them in such a way that they were intoxicated about their connection with the Supreme Father, about their life, about their fortune. They had nasha. So Baba says, now you do not have such a strict vision on yourself. Baba says you need to pay attention to the philosophy of karma. According to your karma, Baba says you have to become number wise. The numbers have to reduce through one reason or another, but even then, you still have to perform the task of giving power. You saw the Sakar form. When there was any such wave, Baba used to do special service and create special plans to give a current. Current, spiritual current, not physical current. Brahma Baba, jab Sakar mein the, and if he saw any obstacle in children's life, then he used to wake up very early, like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then remember Shiv Baba and gives God, and he gave God's light and might to that child who was facing any obstacle or problem, to clear the intellect and also link his connection with the Supreme. So Brahma Baba used to give that spiritual current of remembrance of the Supreme Father. So Baba says, Baba used to pay special attention to making weak souls powerful. Many souls also used to experience Baba making time at night and doing the service of giving a current to souls. So now you have to do special service of giving a current, giving a spiritual current, godly current through which the obstacles of all the souls can be disappeared or vanished. So Baba says you must become lighthouses and might houses and do this special service so that the influence of light and might, Baba says, spreads in all 4 directions. There is a need for this now. Someone wealthy would give special help to his close relatives and uplift them. Baba is sharing an example that if someone is wealthy, what would they do? They will give special help to his close relatives and uplift them, because if they don't have wealth, then someone who is wealthy will definitely help those who are not wealthy, their close relatives. So here also Baba says children who have received the introduction of Baba, the Supreme Almighty Authority, and Angelic Father, so their responsibility is to link others' intellect and mind also with Bab and Dada and make them also powerful. So Baba says, in the same way, you have to give a special current to all the weak souls who are in connection or relationship with you. Acha. Baba says, each one of you is making effort number-wise according to your own capacity so that you constantly forget the consciousness of the body. So what is the effort? To forget the consciousness of the body, thoughts of the body, thoughts related to bodily relationships, bodily things, bodily world. That is body consciousness. And what is soul consciousness? When the quality of our thoughts changes. From body conscious to soul conscious. So I churn. What is the soul? I do the 7 days course of Raj Yoga meditation, and then I take one point and keep churning that point every day on a new topic. So Baba says the aim of your study is to become free from body consciousness and to become soul conscious. In order to be freed from body consciousness, the main power needed is to constantly maintain your original stage of respect. That I'm a pure soul, I'm a divine soul, I'm a diamond soul, I'm God's child. Who is God's child? Not the body. The soul is the child of the Supreme Soul. So this is the stage of original respect. Then body consciousness, Baba says, will continue to finish. In the original stage of respect, there is the awareness of the self, that is the awareness of the soul. Baba says the original stage is knowing who I am. You have been given the different experiences of the stage of self-respect of the present confluence age and also of your future, Baba says, many times. I and my. My is this body, but who am I? I am a soul. I am a spiritual energy within this physical costume. I get this physical costume in order to experience all the colors that are inside the soul. So my soul, no, that's wrong. Baba says it's I, the soul, and my body. I express myself through this physical vehicle, physical medium. तो मैं आत्मा हूँ, ये मेरा शरीर है, और आत्मा में बाबा कहते मन बुद्धि संस्कार है, माइंड इंटेलेक्ट और संस्कार है. हाँ, तो बाबा कहते हैं आई एम अ सोल आउट ऑफ द एंटायर. व्हाट इज द सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट पॉइंट्स? सो बाबा says, if you continue to stabilize yourself in any one of those stages of self-respect, then body consciousness will continue to finish. Because what happens in body consciousness? Baba explains. Either we feel superior or we feel inferior. But Bab Dada, God and his first angel explains that we need to have balance in life, balance in everything. Confluence age means balance, not the extreme, not too much of this and not too much of that. Like Baba explains, balance between love and law, balance between entertaining nature and maturity, not just mature, serious, and not just always laughing and entertaining nature. Balance. So Baba says balance is the key, but remain happy and light always. And there is no balance when it comes to remembrance of God. You can always remember God and always remain happy. But yeah, on this corporeal world drama stage, we need to have balance in karma. So Baba says, what is Baba saying? हाँ, तो बाबा कहते I, so self-respect. I am a most elevated Brahmin. Brahmin means children of Brahma. Simply, the simple meaning of Brahmin is children of Brahmin. This is a stage of self-respect. I am a soul out of the entire world who is going to become a master of the world and of Brahmand. This is also a stage of self-respect. I am a divine soul. In the beginning, you used to have the aim of staying beyond the consciousness of being a female, beyond the consciousness of being a female, but of being a soul, a male. Because soul is not male in the physical sense, but that's why we talk about brotherhood. We never talk about sisterhood or fatherhood, because father is not omnipresent, but souls, all of us are brothers because we belong to the same father. So Baba says, by stabilizing yourself in the consciousness of a male, not physically, but the soul is a male. So male means the position of authority. Male means the position of a king. Male means that I decide. The soul is the decision maker, not the sensory organs or the mind. I, the soul, I decide my thoughts, I decide my words, I decide where I have to look and where I do not want to look. I decide what to speak. I decide what to do. I'm a voiceless king seated in the center of the forehead. That's the place of the king, the center of the forehead. So Baba says a male means authority, the authoritative position. You decide. So Baba says, by stabilizing yourself in the consciousness of a male, the awareness of the female was removed number-wise according to effort. How was it removed? Number-wise according to the effort. In the same way, Baba says, if you have the stage of self-respect of the present and the future, then there will not be any body consciousness. Present self-respect, I am a child of God, I'm God's right hand, I'm a serviceable soul, I'm a pure soul, I'm a pure white diamond, and future, I'm a divine deity soul, or I'm an angel. So Baba says, simply by changing the word self-respect, हिंदी में कहते हैं स्वमान, स्व को मान देना. Your nature, स्वभाव, also becomes good. So swaman से स्वभाव. There is a conflict of nature when you do not have the awareness of the original stage of one another. Baba says, not just look at yourself as a pure soul, but look at others also in the same consciousness. Pure soul, divine soul, sweet soul, God's child. So Baba says, so to have self-respect means to be aware of the original stage. Through this, your body consciousness will finish and you will have no conflict of nature with anyone, because soul, all spiritual energies are the same. At the physical level, there are many differences of color, race or religion or language or nationality or position, but spiritual energies, all of us are peaceful, all of us are blissful soul. All of us, not this body, but the soul is peaceful, blissful, and all the souls are children of Supreme Soul. All the souls are children of Brahma Baba, angelic father also. हाँ, तो बाबा कहते हैं इसीलिए through this your body consciousness will finish and you will have no conflict of nature with anyone. As well as this, those who stabilize themselves in the stage of self-respect automatically receive respect. Nowadays, in the world outside also, you receive respect by giving regard. Baba says if someone is a president, then because he has great awareness of his position, he also receives regard accordingly. Awareness. Why does he receive regard? Because he's aware of his position. If he forgets and Baba says leaves his seat, then nobody will give him regard or respect. So Baba says, be aware of your position. I am a child of the Almighty Authority. Dada is my companion. I am a fearless soul. So Baba says he also receives regard accordingly. Only through regard will you become a world emperor. Baba says the world will then give regard to that one. So by stabilizing yourself in your original stage of original, I am a soul. And then you can add any of the divine virtues. I'm a pure soul. I'm a knowledgeful soul. I'm God's child. I'm a peaceful soul. But the original seat of self-respect is I am not this body. I am a soul, a spiritual energy. So Baba says, only those who have the experience of all the different stages of self-respect that you were told about will be able to stabilize themselves in the stage of respect. I'm a Shiv Shakti. Everyone is a Shiv is Supreme Father and Shakti is the soul. So Shiv and Shakti combined. There's nothing to do with male or female, but Baba says Shakti is soul and Shiv is Supreme Soul. So I'm a Shiv Shakti. This is also a form of respect. One is to listen and the other is to experience the stage of the original self. Baba says, so on the basis of your experience, you can stabilize yourself in your stage of self-respect from having been body conscious. And how will we gain that experience? By practicing throughout the day. I am a soul, child of Supreme Soul. I am a dot shining in the center of the forehead. Metaphysical, not physical. I cannot be seen through these physical eyes. I am a metaphysical energy. So by practicing this again and again and again, we get the experience out of it. So Baba says those who are not the experienced images, those who simply listen to it and continue to practice it, but have not yet become experienced, have the stage. Make a list of the points of your stage of self-respect, and it will be a very long list. Like I'm an ancestral soul, I'm a soul with, I'm a courageous soul, I'm a determined, no, I am focused soul, I am a divine soul, तो हो गया. I'm an angelic soul. I am a fortunate soul. I'm a world benefactor. So these are all the stages of self-respect. Pure thoughts for the self. Baba says, continue to experience each one of these points, and you will not be weak in the little things of Maya. In order to make you weak, Maya first makes you body conscious. Baba says, if you do not come into body consciousness, how can there be any weakness? Just as you explain, I'm a master almighty. This is also point of self-respect. Master means child. So almighty authority, Shiv Baba, supreme light, divine light. And because I, the soul, I am his child, I become master almighty authority, full with all might. So Baba says, and just by having that thought, your stage becomes like that. So continue to remind everyone of their stage of self-respect and make them experienced in that form. However, Baba says only those who have this experience will be able to create such a stage. If you do not have this experience, you will not be able to stabilize yourself in that stage, nor will you be able to create your stage. So the original stage of self-respect is what Baba is talking about, and the original stage of self-respect is simple. I am a spiritual energy, very beautiful energy. Beautiful 24/7, 365 days, no matter what. So Baba says, So Baba says, what is Baba saying? However, only those who have this experience will be able to create such a stage. If you do not have this experience, you will not be able to stabilize yourself in that stage, nor will you be able to create your stage. Baba says you will experience tiredness and the path to be difficult. How can I do this? So Baba says this is the most easy path because it is the path given to us, shown to the soul by the supreme soul. तो God मिल गया है तो फिर किस बात का टेंशन है? बाबा कहते हैं remain happy and light because God Himself is your companion and He is tied in the bond of love. He says that one step of your courage and you will receive 1,000 steps of help from me. So Baba says, how can I do? So Baba says, the path to be difficult, easy path hai ye to, पर फिर difficult बना देते. Why? Because we come into body consciousness, so the easy path becomes difficult. So Baba says, and the question arises, how can I do this? This question then arises. However, because of being stabilized in their stage of self-respect, those who are the images of experience will easily be able to pass any difficult tests. Who are experienced, who are mature in their spiritual stage, Baba says, will be able to easily pass any difficult test because they know I'm a spiritual energy and I have a beautiful role recorded inside me. Me, not the body, this soul. I'm a spiritual energy, I'm an immortal energy. And this confluence age is the most beneficial age, and nothing and no one can harm me. So Baba, this world belongs to me. This is world family, one God, one world. So Baba says, then they will be able to easily pass any difficult test. So Baba says, now remind others of their stage of self-respect, that I am a beautiful soul, I the soul, I belong to God. God is my companion. Baba says, give classes on becoming the images of total experience. Baba says, give those souls who come into close connection and relationship with you the cooperation to experience this. So Baba says, Shiv Baba is bodiless. Just a point of energy, point of light, but angelic father is bodily father. So you can experience, so we can experience the supreme light through angelic father Brahma, because we are corporeal beings, so we also need corporeal support. And now corporeal Brahma Baba is in the angelic form, so his speed is intense now. He can reach anytime, anywhere, to anyone in less than a second. He's just a thought away. So Baba says, in order to experience the supreme light, create a very strong bond with Brahma Baba. साकार बाबा भी बहुत मीठे थे. बाबा की इतनी डिवाइन पर्सनालिटी थी कि दूर से ही सबको एक चुंबकीय आकर्षण होता था बाबा से, चाहे छोटे बच्चे हों, चाहे बुजुर्ग हों, चाहे मेल हो, चाहे फीमेल हो, कोई भी धर्म जाति के, सब कहते थे मिलके बाबा से, तो मेरा बाबा है, मेरा बाप है. हाँ, so Baba says, in order to experience God, because God is invisible, God is non-physical. Baba says, Brahma is your mother. So in order to reach the heart of the Father, climb the ladder through receive love from the mother, and then you will be able to climb the heart throne of the Father. So Baba says, create a strong bond with Brahma Baba. So experience his presence, experience him with you in any task, in any task or in every action. Experience presence of angelic father Brahma Baba, that in an orb of white light Brahma Baba is present with me. He is having a sweet conversation with me. He is guiding me at every step. And then Shiv Baba is combined in Brahma Baba. So Baba says Bap and Dada. हाँ, तो बाबा कहते हैं, through the Sakar form there was the service of making you the images of total experience. In the same way, because of their weaknesses and defects, with the cooperation of your powers, make those who are close to you the images of total experience. Check whether the souls for whom you have become instruments have the experience of this stage of self-respect, soul-conscious stage. If not, then you should give them that experience. Baba says, you have to make this effort. If the souls who are to come close in the kingdom are weak, what will become of the subjects? Such weak souls cannot come into a relationship. So Baba says, now prepare your kingdom very quickly. So soul conscious stage is to keep checking the quality of our thoughts, spiritualized thoughts, divine thoughts, godly thoughts, thoughts filled with love of God. So Baba says the subjects to come later will be created very quickly. However, those who are to come into connection and relationship with the royal family have to become like this. All souls who are instruments at every center have to pay such attention. In the golden aged world, Baba is talking about royal family, the golden aged world, golden consciousness. The way I've understood, there are 5 levels of consciousness: golden, silver, copper, iron, and the present diamond age, where God Himself is teaching us. God Himself is sustaining the soul as a father, teacher, and supreme Satguru. So Baba says in the golden aged kingdom, Baba says that you have to come close in the royal family. All souls who are instruments at every center have to pay such attention. Souls who come into your connection should not be deprived of this stage of soul conscious and God conscious. So Baba says these two stages you have to make firm. I'm a soul, others are also soul in this physical reality, and supreme soul is the supreme divine light, metaphysical light, and Brahma Baba. So Baba says, if you yourself do not have the experience of power in your own self, what power will you be able to give to others? Those souls who desire something come close, give their time, and become cooperative. Such souls cannot receive sustenance to the mother and father anymore, because Brahma Baba has now become angelic father. So Baba says you cannot receive corporeal sustenance, but through the power of your mind and through understanding the biography of Brahma Baba, we can receive more cooperation than the corporeal Brahma Baba used to give. So Baba says, तो बाबा कहते हैं sustenance from the instrument souls anymore, and so they should receive this sustenance from the instrument souls. If you check this, then how many souls would emerge through such powerful souls? Baba says there would be at least half the number of souls. Those who have received direct sustenance have the sweetness of their experiences, and so it is essential to give others this sustenance. Our senior dadis received, Adarniya Dadi Janki, Dadi Ratan Mohini, Dadi Gulzar, they all received direct sustenance from Sakar Brahma Baba. So each teacher should pay attention to her class. Baba is saying to all the teachers, instrument souls who are surrendered at Raj Yoga centers, to pay attention to her class or to their students. Acha. Then the second Murli is of 2nd 72, Science of a Loving Intellect. Science of a Loving Intellect. Baba says, are all of you stabilized in the Abhyakt stage? Abhyakt, beyond the corporeal, beyond the physical consciousness, angelic. You know that only at being stable, you know that only by being stable in the Abhyakt stage can you celebrate an Abhyakt meeting. Ask yourself to what extent you have become the image that experiences being stable in the Abhyakt stage. Every thought and every task of those who remain in the Abhyakt stage are alokik. Alokik means divine, extraordinary, not ordinary, body conscious. Says alokik is divine, soul conscious, angelic consciousness. While living in the corporeal world and engaged in physical work, those who have such an avyakta stage remain as detached as a lotus flower and are constantly loved by the one Father. Paul says those who constantly remain in such an alokik and avyak stage are called Allah Lok, the people who belong to God. There are many other titles also. Baba says such souls are called those with a loving intellect, who have love for God, surrender. Baba says they don't use their head or grey cells. They just simply surrender to God, surrender to Bap and Dada. They know. So Baba says they have full faith in Bap and Dada, both the Supreme Father and Angelic Father. You have the experience of both, those who have a loving intellect and those who have a non-loving intellect. Baba says this is why you write the main slogan. At the time of destruction, the Pandavas had a loving intellect and attained victory, and those who had a non-loving intellect were led to destruction. So Baba says Pandavas belong to Pandav Pateshwar Baba. Pandavas were very less in number. So Baba says they attain victory on what basis? On the basis of their love for God, their nearness and dearness for God. Do you apply this slogan to yourselves throughout the whole day as to how long you have a loving intellect? That is, for how long are you victorious and for how long are you defeated because of having a non-loving intellect? Baba says, at the time when you're defeated by Maya, do you have a loving intellect? To have a loving intellect means to be victorious. Now, Baba is explaining to have a loving intellect means to be victorious under any and all circumstances. Baba says, even if on the outside it doesn't look that you have attained success, but because you have a loving intellect, there is success. So Baba says there is victory, definitely, because you have a loving intellect, love for God. Since you tell others not to be those who have a non-loving intellect at the time of destruction, at the time of destroying your vices, because how will the vices be merged in the soul and our divine sanskar be emerged? Only through the remembrance of God, only when we have love and full surrender. So Baba says, at the time of destruction, the time of destroying our vices or destroying the weak, vicious and scars. But to become those with a loving intellect, do you also check yourself as to whether you have a loving intellect or a non-loving intellect? Baba says those who have a loving intellect, very, very simple line, but a very meaningful one. Baba says those who have a loving intellect cannot create even one thought that is against Srimat. Srimat is godly direction. Mat is direction or advice, and Shri is through the mouth of God. God is bodiless, has no mouth, but he spoke these versions through the lotus mouth of Brahma, corporeal Brahma and also angelic Brahma. If you have thoughts, words, or actions that are against Srimat, would that be called having a loving intellect? Because he is the father, so he guides children. He says, child, my sweet child, do this and don't do this, child. So Baba says, if we keep if we keep that this is the thing I have to do. Baba has told me to do this. I have to remain soul conscious and God conscious. And Baba said, no, child, remain peaceful, never get angry. So Baba says, then children who follow the Srimad, that means they have a loving intellect. To have a loving intellect means that the love of the intellect would constantly be linked with the one beloved. And the beloved is Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. When there is constant love for the one, then your love cannot be linked to any person or anything, because to have a loving intellect means to constantly experience Baap Dada, to be personally in front of you. To be personally in front of you. Baap Dada, both are subtle. So it is only through the power of mind and intellect that we can experience his presence anytime, anywhere. So Baba, which is difficult because Baap Dada is invisible, metaphysical, subtle, so it becomes more difficult. And the difficulty is only in our attention. The more attentive we remain, the more we hold Baap Dada, we hold that consciousness in our thoughts, in our mind, it becomes easy. And then we feel that really the angelic Father and the Supreme Father is personally in front of us, like a shadow. Shadow is subtle. The shadow is still visible, Baap Dada is invisible. So Baba says metaphysical shadow. When the Father is constantly personally in front of you, then you can never be diverted from the Father. Because we are his children, is the Father and almighty authority, the most powerful. Then Baba says, and there is no tension, no worry, because the Father is with the child. He is holding his hand at every step and he is guiding him. So no problem, Baba says. To be diverted means not to have the Father personally in front of you. Baba says, because of constantly being personally in front of the Father, the sound that constantly emerges from the lips and hearts of those who have a loving intellect is, I eat with you, I sit with you, I talk to you alone, I listen to you alone, I have all relationships with you alone, and I attain all attainments from you alone. This Murli, second Murli, we will now again continue. But in the first Murli, what did Baba say? Baba said that, Baap Dada said that we have, it's just not about speaking this knowledge, sharing this knowledge. That's one thing. But Baba also said that you have to churn. Take one topic, take this topic, soul. And first, understand the 7 days Raj Yoga meditation course. Listen to every day's Murli, that is God's direct versions through the lotus flower of Brahma Baba. And then from that, Baba says, extract a topic, take one topic, jot it down, churn it in your mind, and that will generate power in the soul, that you will be able to extract the butter, and butter gives energy. This is spiritual butter that gives spiritual power to the soul. So in the first Murli, Baba said about churning, and the second point was to always stay on this, always remain set, always remain seated on the seat of your self, original self-respect. So Baba says original self-respect is, Bab Dada both have explained that original self-respect is, I am a soul and others are also soul. What is visible is this outside physical personality, but within this physical personality, visible personality, is that invisible, sweet, pure, shining diamond, which I have to see through the third eye of my intellect, through the eye of my mind, not through this physical. The world is looking at the world through the physical eyes. There are only a handful of children of Baba who look through their spiritual eyes. They have made their vision spiritualized. And that's why Baba in this Murli said that the world will have visions of Brahma Baba and Sri Krishna through the children, Brahma Baba or angel, and then the future form, that is the deity form. Brahmin is Brahma Baba's children, so Brahmins will become angels, and then angels will become deities. So nothing to do with external, but inner state of consciousness. The consciousness gets elevated. Present confluence age, then Baba says angelic consciousness, and then finally golden aged consciousness. तो पहली मुरली में बाबा ने विचार सागर मंथन, उसको हिंदी में कहते हैं विचार सागर, विचारों का सागर देते हैं बाबा मुरली में, और फिर उसको मथने के लिए कहते हैं मंथन, churn, rotate one point inside your mind, write it down. That will help to increase the power in the soul and change the quality of our thoughts. और फिर क्या कहा, original seat of your self-respect, the soul conscious and God conscious state. Second मुरली में बाबा ने कहा, check whether you have a loving intellect or non-loving intellect. Baba said that the sign of a loving intellect is that soul will follow God's direction. बाप ने कहा, बच्चे ने किया. बाप ने कहा, बच्चे आप बहुत स्वीट सोल हो, मीठे बच्चे. रोज की मुरली, साकार मुरली मीठे बच्चे से शुरू होती है. बच्चा किसको कह रहे हैं बाबा? सोल को कह रहे हैं. तो वो सोल ने एक्सेप्ट किया, यस बाबा, आई एम योर स्वीट चाइल्ड एंड यू आर माई स्वीट फादर, एंड आई विल पुट इन ऑल माई एफर्ट्स टू फॉलो योर डायरेक्शंस which are beneficial for me. These directions will uplift me because it is coming from God the Father. Okay. Om Shanti. Om Shanti means Om, I am a soul and I'm a peaceful being of light.